Good morning, board members. I'm Emma.
I'm Maddie.
And I'm Tyler.
We were so grateful for the opportunity to go to one of America's most comprehensive art museums, the Boston Museum of Fine Arts.
While there, we put together a collection of pieces that we believe will make for a successful and educational exhibit at the Cummer Museum.
Some background on me. I graduated from Boston University with an extensive education in the humanities. I have also been an artist for many years, so I have seen firsthand the misrepresentation of women in art. I have worked in a few art galleries in Florida, so I am familiar with what it takes to have a successful exhibit, whether it be pertaining to the art, actual pieces themselves, or the viewers.
And as for me, I also graduated from Boston University, where I obtained a strong background in humanities. I have been a ballet dancer for 11 years now, so from a young age I was exposed to fine arts and developed an appreciation for visual and performing art forms. Additionally, I have a background in communications, so I am able to offer advice as to how the exhibit can be advertised for the audience we are trying to reach.
I also have a strong background of understanding in the arts and humanities. I graduated from Boston University with a degree in art history and women's studies. My first job out of school was for the San Francisco MoMA, where I arranged film screenings and temporary art exhibits. I believe my involvement in organizing and promoting art exhibits at the MoMA will be beneficial in creating this exhibit for the Cummer Museum.
The theme of our exhibit is important women in history and the influential roles they played in their society. This topic has always been significant, but it is especially relevant today, setting against the backdrop of movements such as Time's Up and Me Too. We see a need for female representation across all aspects of society, and we believe that this exhibit highlights the ways in which women have been historically relevant as shown through art.
All of these women are modern icons, whom I'm sure you recognize because of their major successes, accomplishments, and influence in the media. The women portrayed in the art we picked for the MFA didn't have the benefits of the media or equal representation that these modern women have. However, the influence they had in their own society paved the way for the outspoken women of the future.
This is Judith with the Head of Holofernes by Dutch painter Jan Masses. The work was painted in 1543 with oil and is one of many paintings Masses has done featuring Old Testament heroines. Here he pictures Judith, who saved her fellow Israelites from Assyrian king Nebuchadnezzar by beheading his general named Holofernes. The story goes that she used her beauty to first win his trust before going through with her plan. There have been many artistic interpretations of Judith throughout the centuries, some presenting her as a modest woman and some contrarily as a charming seductress. During the 16th century, it was commonplace for artists to interpret Judith as the latter. She is depicted wearing only material draped around her waist, sitting strongly with the head of Holofernes in one hand and the sword in the other. Masses' interpretation really shows Judith as a confident, empowered woman. Her sense of sensuality is very pronounced and very much contributes to the strength of her character and what she stands for. Judith, a biblical icon, is a powerful, victorious, and honorable woman of the Jewish people. She is a fantastic representation of the empowerment that sexuality can bring women.
This is a statuette of the ancient Egyptian goddess Isis. She stands at just over a foot tall. She is lightweight as she is made of carved wood. These aspects make her easily transportable from Boston to Jacksonville. She is well over 2,000 years old. Despite the chipping away of paint, which once portrayed her with black eyes, blue hair, and a body gilded with gold, she remains in impeccable shape. Isis was one of the most important gods in ancient Egyptian society. She was the goddess of heaven, therefore she played a major role in determining what happened to a person when they died. In this work of art, she can be seen mourning the death of her husband Osiris, the god of the underworld. The piece is titled Isis in Mourning. Although the sight of her in mourning may be viewed as a moment of weakness, she is actually preparing to resurrect him. Isis is displaying the utmost loyalty to her husband. Osiris was killed by his brother. Isis was so loyal to him that she resurrected him from the dead. Loyalty was a key value in ancient Egyptian society. Therefore, Isis led by example to the Egyptians, and through her actions she may have inspired them to be more dutiful. Her loyalty and strength are just some of the many reasons that she is a woman to be admired.
This work is titled Virgin and Child on the Crescent Moon by German sculptor Tilman Riemenschneider. It was believed to have been made between 1490 and 1495 and created from lime wood. He portrays them both with humanity and benevolence. The Virgin looks pensive while the child looks as if he is about to smile. The Virgin, tenderly holding the child's foot, depicts her maternal instinct as well as the ideal mother-child bond. Historically, motherhood and the role of a mother has been highly valued. This biblical interpretation of the relationship between mother and child is no different. Additionally, the Virgin stands upon a crescent moon, which associates her with the woman of the apocalypse from the Bible's book of Revelation. She and the child are presented as tender and simplistic, but the crescent moon they stand on refers to their glory and success.
This is a painting titled The Greenwood Lee Family by American painter John Greenwood. The women depicted in the group portrait are all women in Greenwood's family. Greenwood can also be seen in the top right corner. It is believed to have been made around 1747. A group portrait was very rare of the mid-18th century as they were hard to compose and more costly. The painting is meant to display the women's skills, which would have been normal for women at the time. You can see there is a basket of needlework, a piece of embroidery, and the volume of the spectre. With the tilt of their heads and their hand gestures, the women are supposed to appear accomplished and charming. Greenwood placed himself in the background so that the main focus would be on the women. Although the skills that are displayed were common, it was very rare for women to be celebrated for these talents. At this time, only noble, wealthy women were portrayed in artworks, but it was mostly men being shown in celebration of their talents. So even though the women's skills may be common household hobbies, it still says a lot for a piece of art to be created celebrating them.
This oil painting is a portrait of Mrs. James Warren, a famous American woman with many impressive achievements, including being a mother, satirist, political activist, and the first historian of the American Revolution. This portrait honors Mrs. Warren for her high status in society as well as her role of being a mother. This painting is in the pristine condition and its vibrant colors are impressive to see in person. Mrs. Warren was a well-respected woman with a high education. She published poems and plays attacking royal authority in Massachusetts, and her inspirational writing urged colonial resistance against British rule. The painter represents her status and power through the extravagant clothing she wears. Her blue satin dress and elaborate lace symbolize wealth and prosperity, alluding to her influential role in American society. Another notable detail in this painting is the nature setting and how Mrs. Warren is depicted interacting with it. On top of her many political and literary achievements, Mrs. Warren raised 3 sons. In the painting, she is carefully tending to the delicate pink and white flowers, which are emblems of fertility and motherhood. This empowering portrait symbolizes the importance of motherhood. This painted piedwood carving, titled Liberty, was created in Massachusetts after the United States gained independence in the Revolutionary War. This powerful female figure was a popular symbol in the young republic, representing freedom. Liberty was the leading philosophy that inspired American colonists to rebel against the British monarchy, leading to the creation of the Declaration of Independence. The symbol of Lady Liberty has a different meaning to the women's suffrage movement. Suffragettes used Lady Liberty as an image of hypocrisy, since American women weren't represented fairly by the government. This image was taken during a march on Women's Rights Day in 1978. For the purpose of this exhibit, we should address both interpretations of Liberty symbol to acknowledge its controversy. One audience we believe this exhibit will attract are young women between the ages of 18 and 24. There is currently a rise in political activism related to women's rights, as seen in the Women's March and the Me Too movement. With all of this tension and anxiety, young women will be seeking strong female figures to look up to, and this exhibit will be an outlet for the relevant female empowerment.
With the help of social media, getting information out to a large audience is easier than ever. To reach our younger audiences, we will take advantage of the Cummer Museum's Instagram and Twitter accounts. With an Instagram following of over 5,000, a single post will be seen and shared by thousands of possible exhibit attendees. We will post frequently about the exhibit to reach the largest amount of people.
We also believe this exhibit will attract an older demographic. Jacksonville, Florida is heavily populated with retired individuals who need to take up hobbies and interests to fill up their extensive free time. One way they can spend their time is by attending art museums. Also, as people age, they tend to value and respect fine arts in a new way. These combined elements make seniors a great audience to target. We'll also be sure to use more traditional advertising methods to reach the general public and spark interest in older audiences. Older people tend to consume media through newspapers, magazines, and local TV, so we would utilize these mediums to place ads. Placing flyers in busy public spaces is also a great cost-effective way of communicating where and what the exhibit is, and to anybody passing by who doesn't follow the museum's changing exhibits.
Art is the way we are able to see humanity throughout time. Artwork shows more about a society than just reading about them in a history book. It is also a more interactive and entertaining way to learn. Viewing various art forms can stimulate curiosity and draw more people into a specific topic. I hope that this art will be informative on the role of women in different societies and allow viewers to ponder their role in today's.
This mini collection is of extreme importance because it is rare to see an art exhibit that primarily focuses on female representation. These selected art pieces express the impact of female figures from different historical periods and societies over the course of almost 2,000 years. Visitors will appreciate the significance of this art exhibit because it physically displays the transformation of female representation over time.
Thank you for listening to our presentation. We hope you enjoyed the pieces we selected and can envision these art pieces in an exhibit at your museum.
The trip to Boston was an amazing experience for us, and we are so grateful to have had the opportunity to put this together for you.
We believe this exhibit could be a huge success, not only for business, but for spreading important messages. We look forward to working with you in the near future.